welcome back. Nice to see you. Nice to see you again. Here is a backdoor to my Facebook page. Here I am posting sometimes stuff that is worth watching. That's at least in my opinion. So here is a video from Bishop Fulton Sheen. I am not a religious man by any means, but he's bringing some very important points in whatever he's saying here. That's why I posted this, because I want you to reflect for a moment what he's saying, especially on the beginning of the video.
That camera has one eye out, only one little red light there.
So
it's all right, don't...
when you have a chance, please do see that. And let's see something else. Right now, I'm going to show you one more thing. Here, this is something that you should watch. Again, it is about to show you how intelligent animals can be, because we don't give them enough credit for what they are. Here is a post from Thunderbolt Project. This is very important video. I want you to watch it and see it and understand it, what this is all about. The graph that you are gonna see there, when that lady is explaining this, you will understand how much it applies to today's situation in the world. All right. So before we jump to our main topic, you see, you can read this, and whatever is here in Latin is explained here in English. So knowing something is not enough. So you know, so what? Understanding is the key to everything, because if you know something and you don't know how to apply and what to use that for, everything is pointless. All right, so let's go to our topic of today. Okay, so today's topic is Georgia guidestones. When you type that into the search bar, you will see that YouTube is going to bring you all the videos that are on that subject. However, many of them, they are just plain crap. They simply are so much conspiracy that it's just, I don't know where those guys are, their minds are, I have no clue. So you can click on this or any video and watch what this is all about. There is you will see on some of them there are blood stains, and there are some stuff that is missing on those there is a part of the monument that is missing. One of the corners is missing. I will explain that. There are lots of symbols in this whole thing, and finally I got green light to explain this whole thing to you. So you are the first one. You cannot find this information anywhere else. You please watch any one of them so you can get accustomed what is this all about, because you are going to have different emotions associated with this, what this whole thing is. But remember one thing: once I am going to tell you what that is, you will know. And believe me, some people wish they didn't. It's not so scary. So let's go to explain what this whole thing is all about. All right. When you visit the site, you will see that this the construction of that monument was ordered by R.C. Christian. There are all kinds of speculation who that was, Rosicrucians and what's not. You will see either in the videos on YouTube, or when you visit them themselves, that's the name is gonna pop up. Let me explain that name, because this is not a real name. This is something hidden in it. Take a look at this. Resurrection Cross. Those are the first two letters of that. RC. Why this? Why on earth is this in such a way? Let's go. If you play with those words, you receive Christian Resurrection Cross. Shocking, isn't it? I need to explain something to you right now that is really very important in this whole thing, because you may think that I am just making up stuff as I go. As I already mentioned to you, you are the first to hear the message. Since I already got the green light to do that, so let's do this thing. I just want you to know that I cannot be part of any organization whatsoever, because that would be biased on my part. That means that I would be trying to sell something to you or convince you of something. I am not a part of anything. The only thing I have is my library card, which expired already, and nothing more. It is a lots of controversy around this whole thing, but it is done in a very clever way for people that can actually use brain. This structure contains a lots of hidden elements that needs to be uncovered. That's why stuff like that, not only Egyptians or Sumerians or any other civilization, when they left behind any carvings, they didn't do that for people that do not understand. They did that in such a way that you had to use your brain, your imagination. You need to be at a certain level of understanding. The same thing is with those guidestones. I'm gonna walk you through some of the elements. I'm not going to explain all of them, because there is a hidden stuff not only in elements and the carvings itself, but also in the dimensions of each slab and the way they are positioned, whatever is the carved holes to see the sunset or the solstice or anything else. Everything has meaning, the way the stuff is done over there, including that stain. That stain supposedly to be blood, but when you find out videos with the fresh stains when they happen, if someone has a little bit of knowledge of forensics, look at it again and see if that was actually sacrifice or not. The stains are there for a reason. Who made them, I don't know. One thing you need to know, that this is watched by cameras. This is watched by police 24/7. So whatever was done, it was done on purpose. People knew about it. And we have lots of crazy guys over there going there with buckets of chicken blood and all kinds of stuff to vandalize the place. You will see sometimes in the videos the splatter on the concrete slabs on the ground. That was done by not so smart people, I would say. Okay, so let's... Searching for Georgia guidestones, you will come across lots of videos. Here, for example, in this image, I am showing you that part where there is that stain. And, you know, those which have a little bit knowledge of splatter, then they would explain to you what they actually see here in this picture. It's hard to determine if this is actually blood or something else, because the stone is granite, and blood on that, it would have a different color. Here is an image of a piece of the corner of that slab is missing. You will come across somewhere in writings that you are the cornerstone upon which I am going to build my church. I think you know who that person is. That was Peter. Peter, however, was a magician, sorcerer, and he wrote all the principles that today are rules in the Catholic Church. He was the one who provided all the instruction how the all the churches should be built, which was copy of how all the temples were built. They were oriented in a specific way. They had to be built in a specific way. They needed to have a specific resonance inside, because that's what those temples were. Actually, they were designed to increase the frequency or vibration or sound. They had very healing properties, and in old-fashioned churches you will notice that when you go in, there is such a different atmosphere. This is almost like the outside world does not exist. You feel comfortable, you feel safe. Some, however, not, because there are many things that were missed by the builders. They just ignore all the instructions and what not. At the beginning, Peter had a good intention. He was trying to do something positive. However, this whole thing went sideways, because something that was supposed to be a knowledge about life and who we are turned into dogma, religion, and eventually cult. And it is ever since. And it's time to sort of get rid of that and replace that with something that is actually serving people. So that's why we are close to the reversal, where, as I already mentioned, we are being divided into main 3 groups, and then those groups are going to be divided further, and you are going to be transferred to specific tribe. Then in that tribe is going to be focused on helping you experience your desires. So let's do a little bit of history into that, where this is all coming from. About 2,000 years ago, there was a new age. It was the same situation that we are right now in. People were fed up, and there were a few guys. They formed society, and they wanted to take the sticky situation diffused and give to the people of that time a new concept, new idea, so they can focus on that instead of killing themselves and going through all kinds of crazy things. You remember that was the end of the Egyptian Empire and the beginning of the Roman Empire, where the Romans were getting into power. You remember that there was a lot of issue with the Egyptians and the slaves and the Jews and the Christians and what's not. That's when few men decided to have a brand new concept, fresh, untainted, virgin. Sounds familiar? Virgin? Any concept, any idea, you already understand it's coming from the source. The source, or the place where the part of you, me, and I, which is I am, I already explained that, is over there. So the new concept, the new idea, is offspring of that you, of the I am, which is ego-sum. In other words, egos. In other words, it is a God. So the new offspring is a son of that. It's a fresh, brand new, virgin idea. You know that differently because someone took this and they rewrite the whole thing, and now you have what you have. But the new concept didn't fly. It was crucified. It was destroyed. And you remember that there is a story of this, how this Jesus, which is Junior Zeus, Junior God, was crucified. That never happened because he was only a mythical figure. It was an idea that was spread all around through stories, through fake letters, to give people hope that there is a Messiah coming in to free them from the slavery of the system that they are creators of that. Because let's face it, what we are facing right now, we are creators of that system. So we were 2,000 years ago. It was the same thing. It is our responsibility. We did that. We create this whole thing, this mess, and then we are feeling like a victims, and we are feeling like there is no way out, and we are blaming everybody else, but not ourselves. Instead, we are in a sticky situation, and it's time to find a solution to that. So let's go back to that. Excuse me. To that guy. Excuse me. To that. The concept, the fresh idea, which was Junior Zeus, which you know that as a Jesus Christ. You remember that he was crucified. I already said that. In the story is that he will rise on the third day again. The story does not say, the original story, he did rise to be alive. The story says he will rise on the third day. Now, the first 1,000 years is one day. The second is second day, and the third, which we are right now, is the third day. So on the third day, he is going to rise, or there is going to be resurrection. So now you have explanation of the resurrection cross. Makes sense, right? Now, there is more to that. There is the second coming. And the second coming, which is supposed to happen right now, and by the way, the guy is already here, scares the hell out of many, because they know that that's the end of their existence, or the system that they are building or they build is going to be over. But he is coming under a different name. Yet, it is the same concept right now. What those guys are trying to say, that the resurrection cross, that means fresh, new, virgin, untainted idea is being resurrected as it was 2,000 years ago. The same concept in different settings, with different challenges, with different environment. That's what this is all about. Most of you are familiar with the how they look like, how the Georgia guidestones look like, and what's on them. Here I'm showing you just an idea what it looks like. The slabs, the standing up, they resemble actually X sign. However, they were supposed to resemble a cross. And the top plate, this is an altar. You remember this, the writing on them. People are claiming that those are the 10 commandments by which humanity should live, that there is the whole world is in the hands of few men, that they decided how the world is going to go. This is the same thing like with the 10 commandments that were supposedly given to Moses. That's not correct, because the 10 commandments, seemingly commandments, they have nothing to do with Moses. They are simply virtues of a man that understands who he is, not some kind of rules but by which he should live. These are simply principles by which men that understand who he is going to be living by. Simple as that. Here is the same thing. People are fixating this whole eugenics and cooling of the herds on the line on the first commandment, which is not commandment. The maintain humanity under this is just concept which would not work if whoever is making those rules, or people are assuming those are rules, would never work. That would be a big giant failure. And the second commandment, that's what people call guide the productive wisely and improving fitness and diversity. Same thing. That's not possible. You would have to have like 2 policemen for every person. I don't think that's ever gonna happen. However, I think you remember the line from somewhere that says this: the last shall be first. You see, the only thing you need to do is reverse them. Now you have a completely different picture. Be not a cancer on the earth. Is that correct? Of course it is. Leave room for nature, leave room for nature. If you connect with nature and you start living as one, as a part of the nature, you are going to be a different person. I mean, we all, not just you, but we all. If we start living by that principle, a whole lot would change. Price, truth, beauty, love, seeking harmony with the infinite. You see, this is another part where once you start digging into deeper understanding who you are, then the connection with the nature is much easier, and before you know, you would be connected with the nature and there wouldn't be any problem. No one would have to force you to do that. You would be doing that at will. Balance personal rights with social duties. Many people are having problem with that because they think that this is going to be some kind of forceful labor. That is not correct. You need to read that again and try to understand what that means to you, because I am not going to even touch that with 10-foot pole, because this does not represent forceful duties. This simply means that you do by what you are fit to do. Your social status is going to match the personal rights. If you are in the group of people that are leaders, then your responsibility will be different. And if you opt in to be just contributor, in other words, if you want to be 9 out of those 10, which I explained in previous video, then you are going to be providing, you are going to be the contributor to the society you are living in, and based on your gifts, best suited to your interests and values, you are going to be doing whatever you like to do. No one is going to force you. Avoid petty laws and useless officials. Can we have this one right now? Because that's really says a volume right this very moment. We have so many petty, useless, completely dumb laws and officials. And by the way, law is something that is a restriction. So saying that we should follow some kind of law, it's a little bit off, but well, I prefer principles, because principles are not restrictions. This is something that is a concept, and then you adapt to that concept if you will, because everything is at will, not by force. Let all nations rule, internally resolving external disputes in world court. They need, really, every nation, every group needs to look at their own affairs from the inside. They cannot bring their internal issues to the world, but when they need help with some disputes, then let the people of the world help them to resolve that. Usually it's all about compromise. Protect people and nations with fair laws and just courts. This is basically what I just said anyway. Just protect the people. They have the rights to or that they deserve, because rights is a big word, but I prefer when people have when they deserve something and it's not forced. However, being in a group, it's all about agreements. It's all what you can contribute. Rule, passion, faith, tradition, and all things with tempered reason. Yes, your emotion cannot dictate your actions. Like many people are overreacting. They are so much attached to either past or to some beliefs or to something, and then they do something and then they regret down the road what they did because they didn't reevaluate the situation calmly, and that's what this is. Unite humanity with a living new language. Absolutely. And this should be not only my emphasis would be on carvings and language of pictograms. We need to go back to that, and storytelling and art, because that's important. When we are gone, the future generations, they don't necessarily will speak the same language, not necessarily will understand the symbols, but they will definitely understand the carvings. They will understand what they are depicting, how the interaction in that image is presented. That they will understand that part. That's how we understand our past, because most understanding of who we were is in carvings. Okay, now if we agree and implement all the first 8 the way they are, the number 9 and 10, it falls in place by itself. You don't need to tell people to keep the numbers under control. Absolutely. You don't need to tell the people to go and work out because the workout is the good idea. The fitness and well-being falls under the first commandment. When you are one with the nature, you are already fit. You don't need to do some extra heavy weightlifting or swallowing some kind of supplements. That does for you. So the number 9 simply falls into place just by itself. Now, when you do that, you don't have the necessity for have 5-10 kids. Like in some nations, it's very common to have so many kids that it's ridiculous. And that fact scares the hell out of people the most. Whoever came up with this line or this commandment did not design this to be scary. However, you see how misunderstanding, how suspicion sets in very quickly. Like there is someone who we don't know is coming up with this whole concept, how we should live, and you don't understand their intentions. If you want to understand their intentions, the only thing you need to do is just to study this whole monument. Look at the details. Pay attention to those things. And within that group of people, you are the one watching these videos, so you are already ahead of the crowd. You know, you are one like in 1,000 already being here. There is a reason why you are guided to be here and listen to what I'm saying. And again, I need to reinforce the statement that I am saying to you. Honestly, I am not trying to sell you anything. I am not trying to take your God away from you. It's yours. I'm just trying to give you a glimpse into where this whole thing started, how this whole thing started, why we turn something that is philosophy of life into religion, dogma, and so much hatred and violence. It is up to you to do further research if what is being said here does make any sense or it fits into your values, your beliefs, and what's not. If it doesn't, then it's fine. Just you can follow somebody else and you can do your own have your own mission on discovering this world and teach people what, in your opinion, is the correct approach. I am, again, don't care what you believe, because that's your personal choice. My wish for you is always and always going to be to find your own way, to understand who you really are, and then you can make the choices. Okay, so for now I am going to end this video here, because the next video is going to be probably even more interesting than this one. So you are the first to know what the guidestones actually are, and the biggest secret of all is the RC Christian. It says resurrection cross, to bring the idea that was presented to humanity about 2000 years ago, the fresh, untainted, virgin concept that people should live together and support each other. That idea was slaughtered, was crucified, and now after 3 days is being resurrected. All right, so thank you for your attention. Please subscribe to the channel, please like this video, please share this video with as many people as you want, and see you in the next video. Bye for now.